keep going. Hello, welcome to our third podcast with dumbboy and stupid girl. We have a smorgasbord of stuff for you today.
I don't like the way you talk when you do this.
What's the first one? Guy blames family for fat habits.
No. These are... We don't have to, go... That's weird to be like, let's go in order.
Just whatever. What that looks interesting.
I have some stuff.
I just go by the list.
So this is a Reddit thread.
All right.
This is an interesting thing I found.
Click the Reddit thread. Let's go to the first one first.
Okay. So basically, I thought this was interesting because I found this rant on Reddit. And I thought it's in people who are trying to lose weight.
Okay.
So this is all people. What board is it? It's in. Oh, Lose It. It's all people who are trying to encourage people or figure out how to lose weight. It's supposed to be a positive thing, not a fat acceptance thing. People don't do that whole fat acceptance thing on here.
So they kind of hype each other up. What this guy say?
They hype each other up, and you're never supposed to act like it's okay to be fat, which is kind of where some people don't like them, but they see it as you're making excuses if you just say well, I'm fat.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Well, I agree with that.
So this guy put this rant. It got really popular. It got on the front page of Reddit. And this stuck with me for a long time because I was thinking about, because we have a baby, and I was thinking about our normal habits affect her forever based off this. Because he's basically saying, he was saying that he had a hard time establishing healthy eating habits. All these other kids, after they got through that little phase of freshman year of college where they were all I want to eat is pizza. Everybody started meal planning and figuring stuff out, and he couldn't figure out why he couldn't do it. He was I couldn't even fucking write a grocery list. I was constantly eating shit. I felt horrible all the time, and that was just ingrained in me.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how my dad was always working. My mom always ordered takeout and made microwave food. I never had a balanced meal role modeled for me. We never sat down and ate a normal meal at a normal time. So as an adult, I just kept grazing in front of the fridge and eating a box of macaroni and cheese every night.
Jesus.
Yeah. And this is saying, I'm so frustrated my mother could never set aside 20 minutes. I know she had in her schedule to throw a salad and a baked chicken on the table and save me years of heartache.
This just has a shitty family? Or just shitty
basically
family
just saying
diet?
You don't even have to have a shitty family for this. This is kind of the new normal now. People are busy. I know some nights me and my sisters would have swim practice and we wouldn't even get home until 9.
Yeah, I think we're slowly getting to where we're cooking, but yeah, we're definitely living on the microwave thing.
I was just thinking about this so hard because I was you don't realize that as a parent, you don't realize that what you're the whole thing of you're setting an example, but you don't realize that somebody could not know how to have a balanced meal.
Yeah.
Someone could just have these habits that literally last forever and cause he's trying to lose weight now. Clearly he has a problem now.
Yeah.
You can be addicted to eating, and you could be addicted to eating purely because of your whole life. That's what you've done. Yeah,
definitely.
And I thought about that, and I was good thing this is a person who's trying to lose their weight. But that's how this whole culture came around where we're
well, aren't they all just bad habits? Any person that's overweight, that's just a bad habit. That's what I'm saying.
But imagine people who don't realize this is a thing and they're just well, this is just how I am. Fat is normal. Fat is our new normal because we don't have the family model that we used to, I think.
Yeah, but who's saying fat's normal?
That's what society's trying to say.
Oh, yeah, the whole, accept me or whatever thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People are trying to say, this is the normal. This is just how I am. But, this isn't how it used to be.
It's crazy to me that they demand, some respect. It's you're fat.
That's what I'm saying. But people who've grown up around it and that's all they've seen, they're honestly, to me, some of them have to just be delusional.
Yeah, but honestly, I think being at a certain age, especially through middle school, you're going to find out you're fat. It's it's a natural thing for humans to let you know.
I don't know, but kids are getting fatter.
Kids are getting fatter, but you always know who the fat kid is, though.
Here's the thing, though. You know what I've noticed?
We all know who the fat one is.
No, but you know what I noticed, in high school? is like people just called the fat kids, especially boys. Now girls didn't really have this. Boys, fat boys, were always football player build, big boys. No, there's a lot of fat boys in high school. We had a lot of fat boys in my grade, but they were hyped up towards like, oh, they're just big boys, husky,
country boys.
Yeah, it's like that's not okay. That's just as unhealthy as a fat girl. Like, yeah,
big boned.
Guys are bigger than girls, absolutely, but fat. You know, and I think especially in the South with football, you know, you can put your fat to use with football.
There is definitely if you ever look like on the line on a football
Ben
team.
Cleveland is a good example. You know Ben Cleveland on UGA's defense?
Yeah, just
he's
big.
Huge.
Yeah.
But he's fat. He's a fat boy. He's not healthy big. That's the thing that bothers me.
I get it, but I'm saying like they're fat, don't get me wrong, but some of them can be like this built kind of like tree trunk kind of people.
If I showed you a picture of Ben Cleveland, you'd be like, he's just an obese guy
Let me pull him up.
He's an obese kid who just tried to like... What was that noise?
Her singing over there. She needs to shut her mouth. Get to bed. It's late. Just joking. Just a joke.
He's a fat boy.
Yeah, I guess, but he's also like...
he's a fat boy.
I get it, he's a fat boy.
It makes me upset.
But he holds his weight. Like, look how... He's fat. We can sit here and say he's fat.
Look at his man boobs. He's a fat boy.
Yes, but he's like...
That's not healthy. You got some massive man titties.
I know, but he's like super fucking tall and just like... Almost Viking-like.
I would argue that's just as bad.
There's a difference. There's a fat person who can't hold his body up, or like a female who's too fat. I think
you just have different standards.
It's not a standard. I know he's fat, but we have to say we can say he's athletic too.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, even if you're athletic, that fat is still hurting you health-wise.
I'm sure it is. He's a big guy. A lot of energy being wasted there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And he does the like dumb brute thing on the football team. So it's like he's not really doing much.
Well, he was blessed with a good frame. He's tall, so he just kind of put a lot of meat on it, and now he's just this big hurtling mass. Which is it's mostly bad than good, but it's good used into this situation with football, at least.
She's sleepy.
She is just talking to herself back over there. Little girl. Hey. Watch your mouth. This is a family household, baby girl. She better not get fat. I ain't having it. She can get fat right now, but...
She's going to be a little toaster right now.
I want her as fat as possible right now.
I'm going to turn off this light so she can look at it.
That'd be the bummiest thing if, like, when you finally get out of high school and you're just fat and you're, like, thinking, shit, what the fuck have I been eating? You just realize that you're fat when you're, like,
yeah.
You know, because, like, think about how when you really come to reality of, like, your habits. It's when you're, like, older.
It's when you get on your own.
Yeah.
To me. For me, I recognize my habits when, like, I was living in my dorm and I would do my homework at 2 a.m. and then I'd be tired as shit when I got it for my 8 a.m.
Have you ever felt like you were fat at one point?
I've always swam.
You've always been, like, kind of a healthy fit your whole life?
I mean, like, right now, because baby, a little bit, but...
Nothing before, though?
No, because this is to a fault, but I've always had selfish amounts of body confidence.
Yeah, you do. But you have a good body.
And I think that's a good thing, because I think I grew up in a family where my parents always encouraged me to be healthy, and they didn't focus on, like, weight. So I was always encouraged, like, eat right, do exercise. We always put emphasis on, like, other kids freaked out about this, but, like, my parents made me do a sport. And it didn't have to be an organized sport, but I always had to be involved. It could be anything I wanted. But I always had to be doing a sport. Or I had to run 5 times a week. And I had to prove that I did it. And other parents, like, thought that was crazy. But I'm so thankful my parents... Like, I loved exercising because I've always done it.
I mean, your mom and dad are both fit, too, which is interesting. Both my parents are little pudges.
Don't say that.
No, they're not going to find this. They ain't going to find this. I had a fat phase. I was fat for a little bit.
You were. See, I grew up. I was.
I know what it
I was
feels like to
skinny.
be a little fat boy. I had man titties too. I would walk a certain way so my man titties wouldn't show, which fucked up my posture.
You had man titties?
Yup. Like 7th grade, 6th to 7th grade. I started puffing up. I'd wear like these tight little shirts because I was so used to my shirts were smaller. I never changed my I just never changed my size. So I just had like these, just a little, this is a little fat thing, and I haven't fully like grew tall yet, so I haven't stretched out. Yeah, and
poor boy.
Yeah, just had titties, but eventually,
I wish I met you in that phase, and then we blossomed as a couple together.
That'd be so sweet.
I was the opposite. I was so skinny that my gym teachers called me Slim Sims, which was the most embarrassing thing to me ever. Like, I was like bony skinny at first.
He just pointed you out.
That was in the 2nd grade.
Called you slim.
Yeah, people like called me out like that. But I guess actually I had the opposite problem. I was really, really skinny. And so when I exercised, I bulked up, but in a good way. So that's why I always had good body confidence, because I kind of did the opposite.
Do you feel, I feel like, yeah, averagely people are fatter now, but do you think I think we're making a good solid U-turn just in a cultural aspect.
The people who want to. That's the problem. You have to want it.
But it's more easier to get fat now.
Way easier. And
so you're going to have more of them.
There's less motivation to not be fat. We have cars to take us everywhere.
Yeah.
We have elevators to get our fat asses up the fucking stairs.
But I'm saying with the proportion, we have more people, we have more resources. So yeah, we're going to have more fat people easily to like calculate. So it's probably just going to be survival of the fittest anyway. Fat people are going to make fat people make more fat people, and they're not going to live as long because they're going to die earlier because of their diseases and stuff. Right. And then eventually healthy people are going to, have sexually healthy people.
The thing is,
it depends if that habit gets back. And it's always going to be something that...
It's either they die out in thousands of years, or...
The point is, there's always going to be fat people if we have an abundance of resources.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, there might just become a new breed of person. Like, you know how the fly's life cycle is like a week?
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to be a breed of person that has a shorter life cycle. They reproduce, they die, reproduce, die, reproduce, die. Mm-hmm. And then we're a different breed of people.
This is another thing. It's another form of humans.
And that's what I'm saying, like a little branch.
Those are like little fat dwarf people. And we're like, they'll have like a branch of elves that go this way. You know what I'm screaming?
Sexy.
And it can also just be genetically. Like the fat ones will just have fat ones. They live for like 35 years.
That goes with the nature nurture argument.
But
we don't know to what extent.
That couldn't happen unless we had a bigger planet. We just have too many. It's too compact, and like we're always gonna be intermingling. How are we gonna like split off? Unless we find another planet to live on. I feel like once we like go to Mars, you're gonna see a big difference of like.
In Wall-E.
Yeah, the fat people.
That's my biggest fear.
I don't think it's funny, but I don't think we're all just gonna get fat like that.
I would definitely.
Unless we just know how to keep ourselves alive.
That's what they did. They knew how to just like.
Oh, like with just health sciences. Like, if we can just keep our heart super healthy, yeah.
I wouldn't do that, though.
No, I'd want to be able to run around.
I want to be... Yeah, I want to have fun.
Yeah. I want to be able to use my my vehicle. I want
to... Your vehicle, your body.
But the thing is, they had little jetpacks.
No.
They could just
had
fly
little
around.
fucking... What did
fat
they have?
chairs.
They were like fat and like...
Yeah.
It was kind of fun. For a day.
But the thing is, everyone can sit here and act like, oh, yeah... Fatness used to be a beauty thing back in the 18. That's not like a real. Throughout history, we have a general sense of what's attractive. We don't. Fat girls, fat boys are not attractive. Like it's not something we want as a mating.
To each other. Oh, and once you get past a certain weight, it also, health-wise, becomes less likely for you to be able, as a woman, to at least reproduce. Not for men. Hold up. Obese women fertility blah.
Your fertility goes down.
And your complications during your pregnancy. Hold up. See, there's a lot. So this actually is already a huge thing for survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
Because I actually read a ton of this. First of all, you are less likely to have normal ovulation, meaning the likelihood of your egg being released is already down.
God.
That reduces your chance of even... But check this out. Risk of miscarriage, stillbirth, and recurrent miscarriage, gestational diabetes.
So for being
scary as
obese.
fuck. All of this is... Gestational diabetes is where you have massive diabetes just while you're pregnancy. It can happen even if you're like my size. Like they checked me for diabetes.
It's crazy how we accept this kind of so like someone who's addicted to meth or like crack or even anything. There's people who are just addicted to cheeseburgers.
Man. Even check obesity can affect the baby.
And we just see it in front of our eyes. They just operate in our society, but just physically are getting just can't even take care of their body. It's nuts to me.
Look, your baby's more likely to have birth defects and be significantly larger than average. But, like, that's bad. Fetal macrosomia is really bad. It's not a sign of, like, oh, that's a chubby baby. It's a sign of, like, something is wrong.
We should, like, start a fight club where we just find fatties.
No.
Just playing.
See, as much as I don't agree with the fat is beautiful movement, where it's just, that's basically like being like, meth is beautiful.
This is such a whole nother
it's like,
thing. It's hard to...
But I also don't agree with fat shaming, which is a whole different... I know there's a lot of people who are like, shaming fat people is just... It's great. It's a good thing for society. You know what? I think it's mean. Like, I get it. I get what you're saying. Why don't we just educate? Let's say being fat is unhealthy. Let's educate. I don't want to bring emotions into it.
No, I'm not... Fat shaming to me is not going and finding fat people to call them fat. It's not like running up to people, you're fat, you need to start eating healthy.
That's what the fat shaming... Like, when you say fat shaming, you don't have, like, the definition.
Fat shaming in the sense of, to me, not beautifying fat. And also, when it comes up in conversation, or if we're trying to talk about how, healthier ways of being, you have to address that you're fat. And you have to be honest with people. And, like, there shouldn't be a rule of not calling people fat is what it is. Like,
I mean, I don't think there's a rule, but I'm not going to tell someone they're fat.
Yeah, but others are.
Why?
Because humans are like that.
I think it's a doctor's job to tell you that. Absolutely. I think if you're asking someone for advice, it's okay to do that. I don't think it's okay to just write out, be like, you're fat. I don't see anything productive happening from that. Because either they don't give a fuck.
They usually give a fuck.
That's what I'm saying. They usually give a fuck. And they already know.
They don't need people lying to them all day.
But here's what I'm saying. They know that's going on. They know what people are thinking about.
It might be different for a girl and a guy, but if someone told me I was fat, like someone I loved or care about,
if I was a girl,
I'm going to feel bad.
If I was fat, I would already be aware I was fat. I would already be aware that people were thinking that. And so that would be my motivation. But
some people don't even know they're fat. I mean,
people know they're fat. It's stupid to say. Like,
never mind. They know they're fat, but they're delusional in the sense of, like, people don't. I don't know. They don't. They're very. Have you ever, like, talked to, like, I remember there was this fat girl that was, like, the fattest girl in our grade. And she would always boast about, like, we were at lunch, she's like, I'm a vegetarian now. She'd come up with any situation to say she was a vegetarian now. And she would bring her food, and that, like, she was vegetarian for, like, freaking a week, and then she started eating chicken nuggets again. It was, like, in high school or middle school or some shit. And it's just, like, such an odd way of her concealing that she's fat in a way. It was just her being insecure.
It's her insecurity. So then, to me, that's her problem. If you have insecurity where you feel like you need to do that, you aren't feeling good about yourself. You're feeling bad. It's not my job to tell you.
Yeah, but I'm saying there's this odd movement now with people who are, like, trying to... It's, our taxes go up because these people are unhealthy. They're more likely to get these diseases and heart problems and stuff like that because they're fat. And that means we're paying more into like a bigger chunk into the our taxes into healthcare.
Our taxes into healthcare,
or just the general that field.
To me, Medicare is our taxes for healthcare are going into Medicare. Medicare is going to people below a poverty line, meaning more likely of them being on food stamps. To me, that has to do with the price of healthy
Where's
food.
the stop at Medicare at?
It depends on how many people you have in your family and where you're living. If you're living somewhere cheap, then obviously the line, like here, it's a lot lower than it would be if we were in fucking New York City. The poverty line is different in each
Interesting
region.
What were you saying about?
Oh, I think that's a chain reaction based on how much just healthy food costs.
Oh, yeah.
If I'm a poor person and this fucking 8 frozen pizzas cost $10 and that'll feed my family for a couple of days, I'm going to buy 8 frozen pizzas.
But also, isn't vegetable and fruits like super cheap?
No, not at all.
They're like $1 to buy an apple.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
$1 to buy an apple?
Around there. I don't know. It's very cheap to buy. I know how cheap. It's
one apple, let's say, is not going to fill you up and feed you for a long time. At all. Like, when I was in, I don't want to say where we're from, college.
Oh.
And I was trying to buy more healthy stuff. My grocery list would go up to like $50. Versus when I was buying shitty things, it would be like $15-$20, feed me the whole week. That was just like, and so it got to the point where I was like, I don't want to keep buying $50 groceries. I don't want to do that.
It sucks because when you buy fruits and vegetables, they just go to waste quickly.
That's also another thing. So like, if I'm a poor person, I'm going to be thinking about that. Even, like, you can compare, like, no, I wasn't truly poor, but like college poor. Being college poor is definitely like, I'm weighing and I'm like, also, I'm gonna buy shitty things over
just fast food, McDonald's, Burger King, these dollar menus, Wendy's. Get $5, you got a freaking big ass meal, delicious, freshly hot made. You didn't have to spend time doing it.
You got it in your car.
Boom, ready to go.
You know what fucks me up? When we make food, like we can make some good meals, but when we make food, it costs like $20.
Yeah,
and that's like $10 each, which isn't bad for good healthy food.
Yeah, but we just could have went somewhere and got a good $10
for both of us.
Yeah.
And we didn't make it, and it cost half that money.
So
it's like
wasting time.
Yeah, being poor, I don't know, being poor definitely leads to a higher,
and just education, really, because I don't really know I don't really have a good sense of what's healthy.
I literally only have a good sense of what's healthy because of my dad.
Okay.
Like, he would, like, drill it into us.
I just have a big rule with, like, not drinking sodas. Water's, like, the only thing
that's great.
You should be
that's
drinking.
An awesome thing, but that's not going to balance out your whole diet.
It's not going to balance my whole diet, but it's a good fucking start. If you make these simple rules to the way you eat, like, I don't ever buy, like, sweets unless it's there. Like, unless you buy it or it's somewhere near me, that's the only time I can eat it. But I don't necessarily try to buy, like, little pastries and cookies and stuff like that. Even though I bought Oreos the other day.
I know.
But usually I don't. And also I've been trying to stay away from beef. Like, if I go to the fast food, I would majority get chicken sandwiches if I'm going to get something.
I'm trying to see chicken and fish. That's my goal.
Shit, I hope that one day we're raising our own fucking chickens. We have our own eggs.
Raise chickens
Also,
to kill.
I hunt. Whatever.
I'll do eggs.
Actually,
easily.
killing. I don't have time to do that. So yeah, we'll go buy our own chicken meat. But I'm saying egg wise.
I'd love to hunt.
I'm saying we'll hunt and we'll have meat for months, and then we'll go hunting again.
We would.
It'd be fun and fucking a good way of doing it. Healthier meat too.
Yeah, my dad would go out on like a week-long hunting trip. Used to, and he would kill, like, if he killed like a buck, you can eat a good sized buck. You can have that all winter. Like, you can freeze that. That is meat.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's what you would have for every meal, and it's good. You can make it into anything. Like,
I'm so down to do that.
It's a cool thing how, like, you would think, like, oh, that takes so much effort. But in the end, all you paid for it to get processed. Maybe if you wanted to keep your fucking rack or whatever. But you pay for the meat to get processed, and that's all. You got that whole thing. And in the end, paying for it to get processed is way cheaper than buying meat every time you need to make a meal.
Yeah, I want to learn to go bow hunting. That'd be fucking sick.
It'd be cool.
It's hard.
But if you want to kill a good sized deer,
you
don't want to do that.
I'll start off with like a rifle.
And usually you'll usually have like a bow or something with you, so that if you shoot a deer and it goes off running, you can like track it.
We just need to figure out. We got our breakfast down. We got the eggs, bacon, and shit. But I don't know what should be our primary food source for lunch and dinner. Like, yeah, maybe sandwiches for lunch.
I really do chicken.
And then dinner's like a chicken thing.
I like fish. I want to make some fish.
I want to make fish too, but that's...
Oh, when I was pregnant, I made a lot of salmon. It was so good.
What's next on your list?
The salmon is so...
What's next under obesity?
Huh?
You had on your little list.
This?
Yeah.
Did you just change the whole subject?
I just want to see what the next was on there.
Okay. Oh, so this goes with this. We should talk about this one. This is interesting as fuck.
What is it?
Okay. So I did a little research on Columbine. I get interested in these like big historical events that kind of change. Like, those events that like when they happen, America wasn't the same. Something changed. Mm-hmm. So I've kind of been going. That's why, I listen to podcasts on 9/11. I'm interested. Specifically, this thing in Columbine. And I don't know if you heard about this because you weren't like raised in like a Christian household, but you were in Harris County. So I feel like this was drilled into our head. Religious kids, this event was drilled into our fucking head. And I just found out that it's not true. And it blew my mind.
What's not true?
So in Columbine, the kids, Harris.
The two boys killed everybody.
They went to the library. There was this girl. Let me click on the article. It's a Vox article. Cassie Bernal. Famous as fuck. Cassie Bernal.
Is that?
Cassie Bernal. She was in the library. One of them went up to her, pointed a gun at her, and was like, "Do you believe in God?" And she said yes, and he shot her through the head. She died. That is the story that was drilled into my head.
How do we know that's even true?
Witness accounts, other kids said it happened. The library was the biggest massacre in the shooting. Okay. They locked them in the library and they went around. They played.
What's this called? After Columbine Martyrdom
became a powerful fantasy for Christian teenagers.
Oh Jesus!
You have to hear this.
Okay.
So this, like when I was growing up, that was a huge thing. People would talk about. They called her like the girl who said yes. It was a big thing. It was talked about in like sermons. That was basically like modern day martyr. They were like, look at her. She risked it all and she died. And that was a big deal.
Oh my God. She probably thought it was a trick question.
Well, listen. It didn't happen.
It didn't? Okay, it's confirmed it didn't happen?
It's confirmed it happened to another girl who ended up living.
Really?
And her answer was not anything the church would have liked.
What was her answer?
So listen. And I'll read some stuff from this later. So this girl, it has her name in here, Rachel Scott. It actually happened to this girl, Rachel Scott. So Cassie was this like Christian teen of like kind of like the young life kid of the school.
Yeah.
Like, looked up to her as like a Christian person, that kind of thing. So that's why that story fits so well for them. Especially like, these are very like traumatized children. So like their accounts of things are going to be a little, they can easily like malleable because they've been through a traumatic event. And things can change.
Those guys are fucked up.
Yeah, I know. So everybody was like, when they heard this story, they were like, it had to be Cassie because Cassie died. And the like evangelical church jumped on this shit.
Why didn't old Scott girl jump up and be like,
She did, apparently.
Okay.
But that doesn't make a good story for evangelical Christianity.
No.
Because she's still alive. That's not a martyr.
And what did she say when he did it?
She said yes, and he said why. And she said, I don't know. It's because I guess I was just raised like that. My parents are Christians. That is not an answer. Is that not like...
That's really the truthful answer to everyone.
First of all, it's the truth. Second,
my parents did it.
Growing up in my church, that's such a... People would say that's like the cop-out answer. Like, oh, my parents did it.
But it's the obvious answer.
It's the obvious answer. And they jumped on the other shit that made Cassie Bernal just this fucking like.
So they jumped on the fake story that she got shot because she said, yes, I believe in God. What a weird thing to get behind.
Advantage. That at first was the publicized story.
What a weird, creepy, gross thing to do.
Isn't it?
Over someone's
Brady,
death.
This blew
That's
my
not Christian.
mind. This blew my mind. And I actually read a lot about this. Evangelical Christianity. Like, okay, so after Columbine happened, I've been, oh my God, this is just the ickiest thing I've ever heard. You know, evangelical Christianity is like Baptist, Southern Baptist, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. It's any Christianity who believes like we need to spread this. Everyone needs to be a Christian.
Yeah.
So like Protestants aren't like that. Catholicism isn't like that. Certain like Jews aren't like that. It's not like evangelical, but Christianity is a lot different, especially in the South and like when big events like this happen. So I read this story about one of the parents of the kids who died, and they were talking about how like the second it happened, they felt like there were just churches everywhere trying to like give support, and like for them at first that was a really great thing, and some of the churches were great and just genuinely like trying to be there, and like people would go meet in churches and like have like support meetings and stuff because this was like a huge thing. But they said that Christianity was the only thing they saw that tried to like use that event. That tried to use it as a way like recruit. Let's make some money. And hold up. Let me look up the fucking book. Some guy wrote a fucking book about Cassie Bernal and sold millions of copies.
This is all just
It's a money grab.
How do we know for sure this is untrue? Like, how do we know she didn't say that? I don't understand how the story. Where.
It's in here.
It's in there? I just don't. So this one girl said, I'm the one who said that? And how many people heard this?
There was like 30 kids in the library.
It was just quiet. And
people were hiding under desks. It was a big deal.
And everyone just remembers what was being said.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the library. They did a lot of like movies and like TV shows have done reenactments. I know American Horror Story did, and it scared the shit out of me. Like the library was like the most famous part of the whole shooting. Because they went in there. This was like when shit was hitting the fan. They went in there, they shut the door, and they just started like playing with people and like picking them off. It was gross. A very like messed up thing to do.
So they're just like kind of like toying with people and then shooting them. Oh my God, they're so fucked up. So this is a huge thing. This is a huge thing. And
it's even talking about how like fucking people wrote songs about it. Remember Flyleaf?
Yeah.
Flyleaf wrote a song about it called Cassie.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So look at this. Her mom wrote, she said yes, the unlikely martyrdom of Cassie Bernal. Big deal. Huge deal. Now, like, honestly, that's her mom. So, like, people have different ways of grieving. I'm not going to say, like...
Yeah, I guess. We're just... Humans are so stupid.
But isn't that gross? So, this was the big deal.
It's so... I feel bad for the Rachel Scott girl. She's kind of like... I, said that. Not her.
Yeah.
Can I get that attention?
You know what's also what, they talked about in this article, and I read about it. This is just the best. For each little thing, I picked the best thing that encompasses it. But I read a lot of stuff on this. You know how the two boys were kind of portrayed as being these like social outcasts. They were they were troubled kids.
There's like groups on the internet that worship them.
There are.
I forget which ones.
Even there's true crime fans. That's what they call themselves, but really they're just like into mass shootings and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's just crazy, like the Diaries of the Boys. I forget which one.
I read
he basically his basic thing is, if life has treated me so bad and has given me so much hate and just sadness, I'm just gonna shoot that back at it.
So yeah, Dylan Klebold was like really depressed.
Oh my depressed. God, how do you get that way?
Hey, listen, the other one, Eric Harris, was popular.
Really?
Yeah. And he was the leader of it.
Why?
They did a study on him, and they found out he shows every true aspect of just being a straight psychopath.
What?
Like, it's not like he wasn't, and they even said that he was a bully to other kids.
Ugh.
And
darkness.
You know what he did?
Darkness.
He took this kid.
But why'd he
Dylan,
kill himself though?
Because he just wanted to be famous.
What?
Listen to this fucking psychopathiness. They have the video of him, and he's in the basement. You know the basement tapes.
No, I don't
They
know
left these VCR tapes.
Okay.
VHS, whatever, you know. They left these tapes called the basement tapes, and it's where they would go into their basement and they would film, and they talked about every single part of the plan. And Eric Harris, who was the popular one, he basically said, this was, do you remember that thing we watched on the 90s thing where that car bomb blew up half that building?
Uh-huh.
And like killed tons of people. He said he was like, you're going to see a lot of school shootings, but we didn't come to be another school shooting. We're coming to be terrorists. He wanted to be known as like, he didn't want it to be seen as some kids shooting up a school.
They wanted a bomb. The biggest thing is like, it was supposed to be a bomb.
There was supposed to be pipe bombs everywhere.
It was not supposed to be really a shooting. It was supposed to be a huge fucking explosion.
There was going to be like hundreds of deaths if that happened.
How? So a mix of a super depressed kid and a super psychopathic kid
so what he
created
did was,
just this fucking cocktail of
so this like psychopath kind of popular kid.
How is that person created though?
Took this like kid who was depressed and he kind of like took him under his wing, and he kind of was like, hey, they were kind of buddies. They were best friends.
It's crazy how like. We don't, the devil or whatever, but I don't want to say the devil in a Christian sense, but there is a devil consciousness that exists within humans.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm looking at her.
What's wrong? What?
I always just make sure she's breathing.
Yeah, she's fine.
I know.
But it's just crazy that there are like demonic. They probably exist a little bit in some people, but sometimes it just overtakes some humans, and they are just this fucking thing that doesn't fill.
Yeah.
What is that? That's crazy.
The thing is, they have no idea what made Eric Harris that way. Like, there's not a specific, like, it's almost like there might be a straight up, like, psychopathic gene. Because his life didn't
I've been
just
so
seem
interested to see how they interacted with people. I would love to see, like, a video of how they conduct themselves. That is so creepy.
I kind of want to. There was a video. Hold up. I saw a video
of what?
The way that the crazy thing about them is like the way that they were going around the school is like they were trying to kill people, but then sometimes they were just like playing with guns. Like it was like they were like children
when they were shooting people.
They weren't even, like, aiming at people. Like, they would just, like, fucking just, like, it was fun to them.
What?
It was insane. Hold on.
So, during the shooting...
Wait, do they have the basement tapes on here?
What is that? Is that him?
Hold on. Let's see if...
Why does a Sandy Hook gunner look like just a complete fucking...
The Sandy Hook...
He looks like he's just mentally handicapped.
Sandy Hook was, to me, the saddest thing ever. God. Oh my God. Ugh. There's something like... Okay, all school shootings are bad. There's something so just...
How young was the Sandy Hook?
It was elementary.
Are you fucking kidding me?
You didn't know that?
No.
It was Sandy Hook Elementary.
Oh my God. How old was this kid?
It was like 2nd, 3rd, and 4th graders. That's why like literally it makes me just like...
I want to hold him. I want to choke him until he fucking... No, and then come right before he's about to die, I want to do it again and again for about a year. Yeah. Oh my God. Ugh. How does something get released like that? I just don't get it. Mother of Columbine shooter. Yeah, I saw her do a thing about it. And she's super like honest about, I just wasn't there for him.
Well, she's also interesting because...
Is that the psychopath one or the depressed one?
That's the depressed one. Oh. Dylan Klebold. I don't think anything about his
Type in Sam Harris. What's his name?
Eric Harris.
Not Sam Harris. The philosopher. Eric Harris. I just want to see...
I think a bunch of things haven't been released on here.
Is there any video of him at all?
Hold up.
Right here down the bottom, video footage of Eric Harris shooting released. Oh.
That doesn't look quite right.
God. All right, never mind then. I thought they'd have some kind of anything.
I mean, this looks like...
Which one's, is that Eric Harris? Or is that one?
That's Eric Harris left. Right?
The left, yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Because if you look at him, he's not a bad-looking guy. Like, that's what's...
He looks like someone I want to punch in the face.
Exactly. They said that he was like this little, like, punk. But they said that girls loved him. That's what is interesting, because it's like, he's not this, like, incel thing we know today, where it's like, oh, he was just, like, brooding and all this kind of stuff. He was like, they said that the last interaction he had was sitting in a car full of girls.
Like before he was going to do the shooting?
Yeah. Sitting in a car full of girls. Like, people love this
Isn't
guy.
that crazy how psychopaths have some kind of
That's the thing.
way of controlling humans?
That's crazy, because psychopaths aren't...
They're usually good looking, aren't they? They know how to use their looks.
But actually what's crazy is that they can't pin down a type of psychopath. A psychopath, like, right today, we kind of have this idea, and, like, this is definitely a big problem of, like, incels and, like, these fucking, like, crazy, just dark places of the internet. That's what I would think is, like, God, like, gonna fucking do. And sometimes I feel like it is. But then there's also the popular kid in high school who people liked.
But what motivation is it to, like, go shoot up everybody and then shoot himself? Like, if he has all these friends and girls like him and he's getting all the attention he needs, why is there this impulse to go and kill everybody? I don't understand this this need. What is that? I want to. I can see the reason for old boy Dylan, because he's just brooding in darkness.
Makes the whole thing crazy. Hold up, this might have the part of the basement dudes.
Today's closer look: the legacy of Columbine. Ever since that mayhem 15 years ago, we've seen more and more of these mass shootings.
Columbine High School, April 20th, 1999. Its deadly legacy still echoes today.
Active shooter, Sparks Middle School. They have at least 2 down.
October 21st, 2013. A Nevada boy, only 12, shoots and kills a teacher, wounds 2 students, then takes his own life.
God, it scares the hell out of me. I gotta find that.
How do you...
Killers on the boy's cell phone.
Oh, this is the actual... This is part of the...
What kind of home life is that?
Hold on.
Perhaps no case demonstrates the Columbine obsession more than the 2006 shooting spree of this sadistic North Carolina killer. He convinced a family member to drive him to Columbine.
Columbine High School, right there. And you see over there? That's the library. That's where everything took place, right there.
He bought the same guns.
This, my friends.
Holy fuck.
Oh, my laptop just died, but
Are you
that was
kidding
the
me?
scariest shit ever.
God damn, your laptop died?
That actually scared the fuck out of me.
Oh my god. So many fuckers, man. Well, shit. If your laptop died, we can't even see our next topic. All right.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah, don't shoot schools up, and
be nice to people.
tell your fat friends to, lose some weight.
Tell your fat friends to lose some weight, but don't shoot up at school.
Yeah. Bye-bye.